Yeah, today I want to talk about the subject of the Texas receptors. Now, it's actually quite an obscure subject, and something I only stumbled across maybe 10 years ago. In the past I was aware of the fact that there was modern versions of the Bible text, and that there were the older type, the King James, New King James, and various older ones, Coverdale's translation. I knew about this whole general thing, and there was Tyndale's and Wycliffe's. I was very vaguely aware of this general thing, but one hears things about the King James debate and rumors that, out there in the woods, hiding in shacks, there's numbers of hard-boiled fanatics who supposedly believe that the King James Bible is the only one people should read, and one hears all kinds of things occasionally, that there's people who believe that the King James Bible is infallible, and now it turns out that on closer inspection, there's actually there's quite a controversy, which goes to the root of much modern belief about Christianity. There's a popular conspiracy theory which has different forms depending on who you talk to, but there's a popular conspiracy theory in the world that it goes something like this. The real Jesus, the historical Jesus, the Jesus of history, was very different from the person who was portrayed in church dogma or even the Bible. And it goes something like, Jesus, the original Jesus was very different from the way he's portrayed by the church. All his teachings have been distorted. He never claimed to do this, or he never claimed to do that. Now, but the church has managed to bury or persecute his real followers, or just bury all his real writings in, and burn or destroy all the original writings of Jesus, and whether they were actually written down. But the idea is, the Orthodox Church has basically settled upon, agreed upon, in the centuries following Jesus, in the early centuries, up to 500 AD, there was this process where the Orthodox Church settled on a story, and settled on the Bible took its final form, and that's a conspiracy theory one hears. as I say, it depends on who you talk to, because some people are interested in gay rights these days. Try to say, Jesus was a beautiful, peaceful, accepting person who never would condemn homosexuals, say, or or something, and and the sort of the harsh puritanical Jesus of the Bible has been just inserted by the Orthodox Church over the centuries, but they're not the only political group that comes up with this sort of thing. It's just been there's been people in the recent past who've tried to say that Jesus was a Marxist, or basically a proto-Marxist, and the sort of communal living practice in the book you read about in the Book of Acts is a proto-Marxist communist commune, and the real Jesus actually taught social justice, and but he's been all it's all been rewritten to make Jesus into a Catholic. Now the thing is, there's all kinds of groups which have resort to the conspiracy theory that, for example, the real historical Jesus was one of us, kind of thing, or was hip with our ideas, and it's only the Orthodox Church which has distorted the historical Jesus into another Jesus, and who disagrees with us. So it's not really the problem with this sort of conspiracy theory. It has this amorphous nature. Well, it's more of a kind of it's not really a theory. It's a method. It's a method of trying to say that that if you don't like certain things in the New Testament, or you're more interested in advancing your own philosophical bandwagon, you claim that the historical Jesus agreed with you, and he's been distorted by history. But taken as a whole, it's not very satisfactory, because it's very short on these sorts of ideas. Are very popular amongst a lot of groups, but they suffer from being vague. I mean, there's no actual outlay of facts or proof you would call an actual. Well, there's not even allegations. They're not even clear allegations. A lot of these theories you can't even prove or even examine for want of coherent allegations. At what point did what church say this and deliberately change these books to say something different? There's no coherence. There's no actual coherence. At a specific point in time, a specific person did a specific act to change a specific doctrine. It's just a general smudge. Somewhere in between 0 and 500 AD, the Orthodox Church changed something to read something else, and so, but is there evidence of this sort of thing? Well, that's this conspiracy theory of itself is one thing. Now, we do turn to a kind of a sort of a related matter, and that's of textual criticism of the Bible text, wherein one tries to go back in time looking at the historical manuscripts. The manuscripts, because printing was basically invented around 1500 AD. It wasn't invented, it became popular. So printing so before that it was popular to have manuscripts. And I think it was just happened to be more efficient for monasteries to do handwritten copying of manuscripts rather than printing, because they had plenty of manpower. Anyway, the idea was a manuscript was a handwritten document, hand copied document, before the age of printing. Now, the idea of textual criticism, how the Bible text has been transmitted and handed down, how it's been handed down since early centuries. This is the problem of textual criticism, but this isn't the only problem. The Bible text is one of many ancient texts which have disputed or debated readings, depending on, there's manuscripts going back, for the Bible there's manuscripts going back to very early centuries, but for things like historical works, Julius Caesar's writings, Gallic Wars, there's fewer manuscripts, and they're later. They tend to be medieval, around 1000, give or take a bit. Around 1000 AD is when you get a lot of the manuscripts of classical writers, and so they're argued about the exact reading of something in the Iliad, or something in Aeschylus, or Aristophanes. That's textual criticism. Now, Tacitus. Like the text of Tacitus, Roman histories of Rome. They are discussed, but they're not as controversial as the Bible text. One of the few books other than the Bible which is subject to controversy regarding amendments, additions, omissions. One of the few books is Josephus, who wrote in the 1st century his historical books, but the manuscripts and the origins of present copies of his works